Happy Victory Sunday morning after the Mountaineers got a huge victory yesterday on the road at Houston, beating number 22 ranked Houston Cougars 45-35 in probably the most exciting game of the year, other than the backyard brawl for the Mountaineers. We're here Monday through Friday, right on the dot at 7 p.m. Today, we're doing a special episode here on Sunday because I'm led to believe, Rush, that we have a real shot at landing the big fish, the player that West Virginia needs more than anyone out there, 4-star offensive lineman Kevin Brown. Rush, what do you think, man? What do you think our chances are with Kevin Brown?
I'm going to say 50-50. I think the issue, of course, is West Virginia. When you see someone like, I know we'll talk about this, but like Kevin Brown go to like an Ohio State yesterday, or, originally was going to go to Penn State, right? It's resource-wise, I'm not going to lie, it's hard for a school like West Virginia to keep up with that. However, his dad went on to the NFL. West Virginia is a place where you can look a little beyond the money, right? He'll get opportunities to play sooner than he would maybe these other schools. He'll be beloved here. You can be a superhero, at a school like West Virginia, at Penn State, Ohio State, you're one of a bunch of guys, right? So yeah, a lot of this does come down to money, but sometimes you got to look at it like an investment, right? That West Virginia, yeah, maybe I won't make as much as I could at another school. However, I could play sooner. I could get my name out there quicker. And, maybe it'll lead me to an NFL path that, yeah, Ohio State, obviously Penn State gets those guys there, but maybe I can do it a little quicker at West Virginia, right? His dad did it. Look at Zach Frazier now for the Steelers. West Virginia is a clear path to the NFL. And if you navigate it right, play it right, maybe it's an investment worth taking for Kevin Brown. I can see that happening.
Yeah, the reason that I feel like we have a real shot is that West Virginia, this staff really seems like they want this guy in particular. Travis Trickett, who is a senior offensive analyst for the Mountaineers, right after the biggest win of the season for the Mountaineers yesterday, went on social media and posted the following. He said, "Great team win. Now we got to go land the big fish." And we know who the big fish is now at this point. It's Kevin Brown, Rush.
Yeah, it is. And I think we were talking about it before the show, Brad, that to see part of the recruiting staff, right, talk so publicly about what they're trying to do and the guys that they're trying to get, you don't really see that often. But they're posting this one to show Kevin Brown how much they care about him and how much that he would mean to West Virginia, which does have value to it, like we were talking earlier. And two, I'm not saying Travis Trickett, is his job's on the line right now as we speak. This ended up being kind of a rebuilding year, but at the same time, too, this is a type of job that your job's also always on the line, right? And getting a guy like this provides a lot of job security, right, for Travis Trickett. I mean, all in all, it just shows how much value Kevin Brown would be for West Virginia and just how much he would be beloved here. And of course, behind a very decent, stable quarterback, offensive line is the next level of importance, right? We can figure out the wide receivers. We can figure out the running back. You can figure out the defense. But you need the foundation. You need an offensive line. And this would be a start if you get someone like this to the dominoes just falling into place and getting that kind of NFL caliber line we saw here a couple of years ago at West Virginia.
Yeah, when I spoke to Kevin Brown briefly on social media afterwards via DM, and I asked him how the visit went, and he just said, it exceeded expectations. He didn't say a whole lot, probably can't say a whole lot, but Rush, like you said, we talked about this before the show. I don't remember ever seeing a coaching staff go out, not reach out necessarily, but to come out and go after a player on social media in this way. Like Travis Trickett did, this may be a first. And it really does show how much West Virginia wants him.
Yeah, it does. And here's another thing to remember too, Brad, is sometimes the benefit of being in this NIL transfer portal era, Kevin Brown could go to an Ohio State, let's say first, realize it wasn't the fit, and then it clicks for him. Do you know what? West Virginia is home. My dad played there. I love those coaches. So even if it doesn't work the first time around, it's also that never say never. It's so easy for players to transfer this day and age. And so, yeah, maybe you don't get them the first go around. And sometimes you got to learn things the hard way, whether that be the player, coaching staff, or a combination of the two. It doesn't mean you'll never get him either. So it's always important to plant those seeds from a coaching staff standpoint. Keep an eye on everyone around because you never know when they're going to come back around. It is very possible in today's climate for that to happen, no matter the recruit, no matter the player. And that's why you got GMs now for these football teams. The recruiting staff has grown. You got to keep a thumb kind of everywhere on everyone because you never know when you're going to need someone and you never know when they're going to end up wanting you. So even if this doesn't go, even though if this doesn't go, the way we want first time around, doesn't mean it's not going to happen again.
West Virginia's obvious big deficit right now is the offensive line. Kevin Brown is the fourth rated offensive tackle in the nation right now. We have a real shot of getting him, but I think we're going to have to pay him. A lot of numbers are being thrown around, Rush, but I've heard somewhere around 800,000 over 2 years. I've heard upwards of like $1 million over 2 years. I don't know. I don't know if we can necessarily compete with Ohio State. But I think we need to do whatever we can and throw as much money as possible at a Kevin Brown because he is a player that could turn the football team around.
He is. Another good note that we saw past 2 weeks, it's looking more and more, knock on wood, like we have our quarterback, right, in Scotty Fox.
Yes.
And the benefit that this provides is all of a sudden, you don't need to go commit another $1 million, $2 million this offseason to go find another quarterback. Yeah, if Scotty Fox ends up being the guy, you're going to have to pay him more than you're paying him now, of course. But then this opens up so much more money that you can put into developing around Scotty Fox. So now all of a sudden, you think you can only give like a Kevin Brown a 5.6. That gets bumped up now to maybe more his asking price. And then maybe it's still below an Ohio State, we'll say, for example. But then it goes back to how this conversation led off. What other resources can you provide a guy like Kevin Brown that an Ohio State can't provide? Maybe he starts earlier. The fans like him more. There's other maybe businesses in the area that are willing to get him on a commercial or have him be the face of something where then you can make up the gap in other ways too. So, hey, sometimes this is an investment, and he'll get a lot of playing time early if he comes to West Virginia.
Totally agree. Yeah, I've been doing this for a long time, Rush. So as you have, this passes the smell test for me. This really feels like we have a real shot. Yesterday, he did go to Ohio State, and he was on his official visit there in Columbus, hanging out with that big weirdo Ryan Day, this creep. But Ohio State has probably one of the best environments in college football. They beat Penn State yesterday pretty handily, and I'm sure that they gave him a great option as well. I just can't imagine that Ohio State can show that they won him in the same way that West Virginia wants him.
Completely agree. And I do think it's funny they hosted him when they were going against the former school he committed
There you
to.
go.
Yep. I think there was a little subliminal messaging there, but I agree, Brad. I think we all know, those who have lived in Morgantown, gone to West Virginia, even drove through the state, I've heard people talk about, that there is a feeling that you get when you're here. There's no place like home. And obviously he's familiar with West Virginia. And I do think it's a place that can offer a lot more intimacy than an Ohio State. And it's a place that will show that we love you, that we care about you, and we want what's best for you, compared to an Ohio State. Okay, we got you in the building. Here's your money. Now go sit over there, or go be on that scout team, or what's your name again? It happens. So I'm with you. I'm with you.
In Columbus, he's just another fish, right? In Morgantown, he's the big fish. And so I would think that would make a difference, especially if we're offering similar money. We're offering, I would assume, more immediate playing time. To me, West Virginia makes a whole lot of sense. And I'm not just saying that as a homer. I really feel that West Virginia is the right place for him.
Completely agree, Brad. He's just another guy at Ohio State. At West Virginia, he'll be the guy.
The other thing, Rush, is that he said that he wanted to wait and see what happens with Penn State. That happened immediately after James Franklin was fired. I just wonder how quickly Penn State is going to be able to hire a new head coach, or are they going to wait until after the season and see what shakes down? I haven't really heard any coaches who are the obvious front runner at Penn State right now. I've heard a little bit Manny Diaz, but nothing major. And I think they're probably going to wait until after the season. I think that again plays into our hand. I think that gives us an even better shot of landing him.
I mean, if there's an advantage to not going to a bowl game, right, this is. And this is kind of a problem with college football, right? There's that time period between the season ending and the whole college football playoff ending where teams that ended a little earlier get an advantage in terms of recruiting, building a coaching staff, whatever it may be. I don't blame Kevin Brown for still giving Penn State his ear. I mean, beyond James Franklin, there's a reason, he fell in, love with that place to some extent. A lot of people do love Penn State. I don't know why, but they do love it nonetheless. I mean, he's from the state, or Commonwealth, I should say, the capital, Harrisburg. So, I don't blame him for still giving Penn State a shot. I don't know what their head coaching hiring looks like in the immediate future. It's a weird time in college football where there's like 10, and there's going to be more, these major jobs that are available, and there's not enough great coaches to go around. So some of these schools are going to have to take a chance with a coordinator, a younger head coach, whatever, the situation may be. So, I don't know the future of Penn State. They are a school with a lot of resources. I'm sure they'll figure it out in the long run, but Kevin Brown may decide, for his immediate future, this isn't an immediate solution for what he personally needs in his football career. So West Virginia, I know it's been a tough season, but will get the benefit of ending their season early to look towards next year.
West Virginia insider Josh Wolf put out some really great tweets immediately following West Virginia's win yesterday. Josh Wolf, who used to be Huddy Tuddy, he does have some insider information. He said, I hope Kevin Brown just saw our freshman quarterback, freshman running back, sophomore running back, sophomore left tackle, junior left guard, and junior center put up 38 offensive points on the road versus a ranked opponent. Not only a ranked opponent, but one of the best defenses in the entire nation, ranked 9th in defensive efficiency. We are a right tackle away from greatness, sir. I love this, Rush. I don't often like Josh Wolf tweets, but I like this one, and I think this is a really great point. I hope that Kevin Brown was watching. He will play immediately, almost certainly, and we have a really bright future in Morgantown.
Normally, I would agree with both of you, and I don't disagree by any means. The fear is, going back to what we were talking about earlier, is the transfer portal NIL era that we do, live in, and it can giveth and it can taketh. And the assumption here is that all these guys are staying. They may ask for more money too. Who knows what it looks like? But in principle, I do agree with this, and I don't think these guys are going anywhere. So yeah. I think that is the business model here in West Virginia, that you get young, capable talent that you can develop. And unfortunately, some of that might be developed and go to other schools, but you keep the bulk of it here. You'll be competing in the Big 12 and potentially championships. So I like it. Let's hope it stays intact and we land that big fish.
I don't think Scotty Fox is going to go anywhere.
No,
he
won't.
Or Hubbard will be back. I think it sounds like Jaheim White will be back. I think he's talking about Sincere Bowers right here as the sophomore running back. To me, it looks like we're going to have most of our weapons back. I really, really hope we have Cam Vaughn back next year and Rodney Gallagher. And then we'll need to obviously add another wide receiver, maybe another offensive lineman. But for the most part, I feel like our core is going to be back right now, Rush. And I feel like this is a team that can compete immediately in the Big 12 next year.
Yeah, it's looking like it. If you get some into the season momentum as we are now, you keep this going. You got Colorado, coming to town, winnable game. We'll see how Arizona State goes. I know they're down some folks, but I mean, they're still Arizona State, and we have to go out there. Then a bye week. Then who knows what Texas Tech's looking like the last part of the season, especially if they're out of Big 12 contention. They may not care anymore. So you may catch a lot of these teams at the right time. All of a sudden you're talking 5-7, or a miraculous all of a sudden 6-6, you're going to a bowl. But you build up momentum this time of the season, you take that right into 2026. Watch out for West Virginia next year. I completely agree.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, it felt like it was an almost certain 2-10 team, and now we're talking. I mean, I may be the only one talking crazy enough to say this, Rush, that we are. We have a legitimate hope for going 6-6 and making a bowl game. To me, that would be huge for going into next season.
Oh, it would be everything. I mean, even if you're able to go 5-7, let's say you beat Colorado next week and you grind it out against Arizona State and Texas Tech, you kind of get those moral victories, kind of like how TCU was. I know a lot of people don't believe in the moral victories, but when you're already looking ahead to next season and just trying to build momentum, those are moral victories. So this is also another reminder to folks out there, including myself. It's a long season. Football's long. It's gruesome. So whether you're winning at first, losing at first, it can get switched around. So everyone take a breath, and it's a week by week game, week by week league.
One more quick, Josh Wolf, and thank you, Josh Wolf, for sharing this on X yesterday. Before we go, Josh Wolf said, hypothetical 2026 offense, and you tell me, Rush, if you think this is a competitive Big 12 team. We've got Scotty Fox Jr., who we now feel like is a legitimate option at quarterback. He's certainly grown a lot over the last several weeks. Dior Hubbard, Jaheim White, Sincere Bowers is our running backs. Cam Vaughn, Rodney Gallagher, add a wide receiver in the portal, Ryan Ward at tight end, and then our offensive line is suddenly looking a lot better. Nick Cray, Donovan Haslam, who has been outstanding this year, Landon Livingston, who is an anchor there on the offensive line. Grab a portal guy for right guard, and then we've got Malik Agbo, who is, again, playing much better, or the big fish man, Kevin Brown. This looks like, to me, if we can stay healthy, a competent, competitive Big 12 football team.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of development this offseason too, and if they're able to take the leap. I would add a couple things here is if you can land another tight end, especially in a Rich Rod type of offense, where if you're able to have two tight end sets can be a big difference maker. It can free up a lot. I'm going to say this too. I love this guy to death. I think he embodies what it means to be a Mountaineer. But I'm not, I guess, killing myself to keep him, and that's Rodney Gallagher. He's a guy, I think that if the money's right, it's been around a bit, yeah, keep him. But if he's asking for more or you're killing yourself to keep him, it's not worth it. I think he's, of the legitimate names that are up here, I think he's the one that I could see walking out the door. But I love Cam Vaughn. I'll say that. He's been a fantastic wide receiver. And I in a way, I kind of feel bad for him because it looked like at the start he was going to just be a breakthrough all season long. Of course, we went through that struggle, but could be in for a big season next year. So not to get on Rodney Gallagher either. He's a great guy, and like I said, I think he embodies what it means to be a Mountaineer in the West Virginia spirit. But I think he's a take it or leave it player. I really do.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree a little bit. I think I was down on Rodney Gallagher at the beginning of the year, but I really feel like he's done everything possible to remain a Mountaineer this year. Yesterday he had 5 catches for 53 yards. He is undersized, but I feel like he's got a big heart, and like you said, he does embody what it means to be a Mountaineer. Great kid. I would love to keep him. And Rush, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of demand elsewhere for Rodney Gallagher. I don't know that.
I agree.
There's going to be Power 4 teams knocking down his door, trying to overpay him. So I believe Rodney Gallagher will be back next year as well. And I think Cam Vaughn, he needs to be priority numero uno to keep next year because he is a different level wide receiver and someone that we absolutely need if we're going to have a great passing game next year.
I agree. Here's the thing with Rodney Gallagher, and I agree with you. I don't think a lot of people are going to be knocking down the doors to get him, and I guess that's my point. I think he is the perfect number 3 slot receiver. I think you need to get a number 2. I think Cam Vaughn's the one. You get a 2 and then all of a sudden you get coverage all over those guys, and then Gallagher, sneaks over the middle, for a 10, 15-yard pickup. I just struggle with him being that number 2 receiver, but I think he's a great 3. If you need to run some jet sweeps with him, kind of that hybrid running back position, I think he's perfect there, and that's where he would excel and take off. I would love another like solid Cam Vaughn type of receiver in there to free up Gallagher. So,
of course, yeah. Big Fish, Rush, you said 50-50 earlier. I'm going to go 75-25. That may be a little high. I think that we are the big leader right now for the Big Fish, Kevin Brown. So I really think that we have a major shot to really turn the team around by getting him next year. Coos over on Coos Sports says, Bray still has a year of eligibility, I believe, but can he stay healthy? Coos, great point, man. Jaden Bray, he has all of he looks like he's going to be a great receiver. He just has not been that guy. That is not somebody that I'm going to overpay next year either. I think he's someone that, if he wants to stay, that's great. But I'm going out and looking for another receiver to replace Jaden Bray next year.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah. Scott over on YouTube said, I think we found our quarterback. I really I like our quarterback situation. Yeah. I mean, we've got Scotty Fox. I like Khalil Wilkins as a second, potentially third string quarterback. I really would like to go out and get a veteran to back up Scotty Fox next year. Someone who, maybe a highly touted guy who is not getting playing time at a big school who could come in and back up Scotty Fox, and then have Khalil Wilkins still on the team as a third string quarterback. I hope that he's willing to come back as the third string quarterback, because I think he adds some to the team as well. I think he adds a lot of ability to come in and do different things that maybe Scotty Fox can't.
I agree. And of course, none of them are coming to my head now that I want to. I think who are the 2 guys that are walk-ons right now? Is it Max Anderson and who else is it? I wonder how those guys are with a year under Rich Rod and if they come back and what their situation is too. I think there's a lot of pieces that Rich Rod can put together now that Scotty Fox is rising to the top. But I do agree with you, Brad. I think you need to get kind of that veteran seasoned quarterback that's seen a lot and can almost be a mentor to Scotty Fox, but kind of how we saw the Garrett Green-Nico situation. And then when Green got hurt or if Scotty Fox got hurt for a game, you get a season number 2 to come in and win you a game or 2.
Yeah. So Rush said 50-50 on Landy the Big Fish, Kevin Brown. I'm at 75-25. We would love to hear your comments in the comment section. Guys, it is a wonderful day to be a Mountaineer. Rush, I don't know how you feel, man. I feel a little bit different this Sunday morning. I feel happy. I went out on a walk. I'm feeling so much lighter and better after a Mountaineer win yesterday. It's wild how much West Virginia winning changes our perspective, right?
Yeah, an extra hour of sleep doesn't hurt either. But I'm with you. It's more the Mountaineers, but I mean I agree. I felt a feeling that I haven't felt in a long time. And don't get me wrong, that Pitt game was great, but you also had that Ohio loss before that. And the Pitt game is just kind of different than anything else, right? That game is who cares about anything? We just want to beat Pitt and have bragging rights. But, you get into the Big 12 schedule and it's like, oh no, like, do we have any chance in this league for the next couple of years? And it's like, now you feel like, yes, we do. And it's just optimism you want to take into the offseason and build on. So I'm with you, Brad. It feels great.
I'm calling 6-6 in a bowl game. Rush. I'm going to go out and say it, man. I'm super optimistic right now after the win yesterday. So we'll see, man. Guys, we really appreciate you joining us here on Sunday morning, a victory Sunday morning for the Mountaineers. Guys, have a great rest of the weekend, and have a wonderful weekend. And let's go Mountaineers.
Voice of Morgantown, we break it first. WVU pride, we quench your thirst. No spin, all truth, loud and proud. Mountaineer nation, say it loud. The Voice of Morgantown. VOS.